All right, so Drew comes out. He delivers an interview promo. Said everyone lost their minds. Said he could be fired, released, come back to the company, be innocently forgiven. CM Punk chant broke out, and McIntyre said, "I could be talking about anybody." He recalled headbutting Seth Rollins, also vented about Jey Uso and how he apologized to Randy Orton. McIntyre said Jay's time is coming. McIntyre said he was forgetting someone, and then it was interrupted by entrance music, and Sami Zayn comes out. Zayn said McIntyre has a lot to say about everybody and told him to say whatever he had to say about him to his face. So go, "Oh, yeah, yes, I do, Sami." McIntyre says Zayn is the one person in the world who deserves to be screwed by the bloodline. He says Zayn was the errand boy of the bloodline. Eventually, he screwed them over. McIntyre asked Zayn what he thought would happen. He said, "You deserved it. It's the truth." And Zayn said he thought that he and McIntyre were alike, but the more he hears from him, the more he realizes they are not alike. Zayn says he's not a delusional person who points his finger at everyone for their own shortcomings. Zayn said when he lost a title match in front of his friends and family, he stayed hungry and he carried him all the way to the main event of WrestleMania. But he's cutting this a very fiery promo too. This sounded better than it reads. Zayn said he was able to make his family. Right. Zayn said he was able to make his family proud, then asked McIntyre if he could say the same. And McIntyre said one of them would not be walking out. He called for referee and for the bell to ring. So then they wrestle, and Russo had a good point. I kind of agreed with it when I talked to Vince. This was far too competitive of a match. Like, I know you don't want to bury Sami and stuff, but like, bro, like Drew his character is very strong right now, and he should have bullied him a lot more here. You know, but this was a basically competitive 20-minute match, and he basically he chop blocked him, kind of like did a little heelish work on the leg and everything. He hit him with the Claymore kick.
Well, not kind of, he did.
Yeah. So it was like, I was just like, you know, when you read this, it's like Drew McIntyre defeated Sami Zayn in 20 minutes. It's like, I don't know if it needed to be that long for what they did here.
I think there are certain guys. I just think there are certain guys, and Zayn is in group where if you're going to lose to a top guy, they're going to make it a long match, and you're not going to lose clean because he did a very heelish thing. The ref was checking on his knee, and then he Claymore kicked him. Right? I like Drew. I like Drew. Right. I didn't like him, the baby face, white meat, with the sword. It's named after his mom, Angela. No disrespect to his mom, but that was Mega Jojo. I mean, insert ugh emoji if there is one, or ugh. But I like the fact that he's mad and somebody's going to pay. They kind of protected Sami because I think he's one of their top guys, and they protect their top guys, right?
Right.
But let me tell you what I would have. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because I'm going to give you a point, because this is where I think it's weird, all right?
Right.
Bro, if this is why this is the old school wrestling booking and stuff, everything. Bro, they protected Sami here because he's a baby face.
Right.
If Sami was a heel, he could have done a pretty quick squash job here, and then just got his heat back doing something else.
But that's
the fact that he's a baby face, he had to go like even, right? Go ahead.
But if you remember, Disco, because we reviewed these for many years, Sami always used to take the loss as a heel.
All right.
Remember? Because he could get over it, but he's not a heel anymore. So you wanna protect him, because baby faces, it's kind of, they take too many losses, people can turn their back on them. But this is what I would have done though. If you notice, the moment that Drew McIntyre talked about Sami, what happened?
He came out.
Right. That's what should have happened with Seth and CM Punk. He should have said, hey, I'm not going to mention this name. He's not worth it, or whatever he said. Punk should have come out and said, look, you've had a problem before I left. You still have a problem. Let's fix it right now. They get into a brawl. You have no finish, and you leave the people wanting more. You know, instead of coming out and going, this is my home. I miss you guys. All that he did. He should have come out and confronted Seth, just like this guy did here.
You're absolutely right, because what it does is that you bring Punk back, and I'm sorry, it's like after the first weekend there was a lot of people online talking about this. It's a little underwhelming.
Are people saying that? Are people saying that?
Oh yeah.
Good. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and it's like
they're
true.
Right.
Like, dude, it's like, why not come? Like, I know you guys want to do long-term thing, but bro, there's no reason not to come in hot. Like, what's the excuse not coming in hot?
Especially Punk.
He's got the lightning rod. He's got issues with everything.
Right.
Why not? You're right, exactly. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And then that's this is
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when like Punk was fighting MMA and he wasn't cutting any promos. Remember?
Right.
And we were
exactly.
like, what's going on here?
Yes. Underwhelming. Right. And I wonder too if this is Punk like the way he wants to do it. Because this is like kind of similar.
I don't think they're going to listen to what he wants to do. I think they're going to do what they want to do. I think.
I don't know whose idea this was, but like you said, the first week was
not a good idea.
Right.
No. They can still fix it, which is a good thing.
100%. We're about 1 week, so it's like
right.
So you know what it's like?
Those old guys in the Muppet Theater,
Perfect example. For years, Game of Thrones and The Sopranos and all the HBO great series. Week 1 was always like, it wasn't like great. The second week was always fire. Like if you go back in the history, like look at those shows and stuff, everything. I always remember that because like the first week could be whatever, and I always say, well, the second week's going to be good, like one of their best shows, because like I guess that's what they do.
First week wasn't,
because maybe they think like we don't want anybody missing anything, so we want to kind of like lead them into like I don't know. I mean, whatever.
There's a little something here, and this will relate. Have you seen? And it's AEW I'm starting with, but it'll relate to Sami. Have you seen that there's conflicting reports that Bryan Danielson is handing out fines?
Yeah, I saw
AEW
that
for social media posts. Like
they're like an authoritarian, like a dictatorship. They're running there to.
Yeah.
Did you hear
like
that?
If someone tweets and complains about it not being used or something,
Bryan Danielson's on. This
you
is
mean like Britt Baker?
So I don't know, but there's a report. Okay, and I don't know who's report. These are the
SAP.
Oh, SAP is reporting this. Okay,
SAP reported it, and Dave said it's overblown. So
okay, because here's because Konnan
who do you believe there, Disco? Who would you believe there in that scenario?
I believe the Sean Ross Sapp report because I'll say because I saw a clip of somebody interviewed Bryan Danielson and was talking about him being on the discipline committee. He said, "Hey, I'm just one of the guys there." Like he admitted it. They have a disciplinary committee, and he's part of the committee. Okay, so the fact that like supposedly they have like fined a couple people for social media posts was reported. I could see Dave saying it's overblown, but if that just the fact that actually happened is fascinating to me. Like if you're literally finding independent contractors for social media posts.
Now the reason
with money, like you're hitting them in the pocket, dude. It's like either make a story out of it or just punish him by keeping them home. Where is the code of conduct for an independent contractor? They can't speak on social media or like post.
We're not independent contractors. When you sign to a company, you know that. Disco.
Yeah.
Well, I'm aware of that, but like in the big picture,
you can't work where you want. You can't come to work when you want.
I'm aware
you
of
don't
that.
get overtime. Yeah,
I'm aware of that, which is weird. It's just like this is one of the other things.
I think what's happening.
They're not independent contractors.
Well, I think what's happening is
pointing to that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's happening is you got a lot of immature, petulant, people there that don't know how good they have it, and all they do is groan. And Tony doesn't want to hear it anymore. And I'm sure a lot of the veterans are like, "Bro, you don't know how hard we have it and how easy we have it, and all you do is." And that's why they probably have a discipline committee, Isn't
that unbelievable?
Now, the reason I brought it up is because I was looking around and I came across an article about Sami, and it says Sami Zayn, one of the biggest stars in WWE. Sami Zayn. One of the biggest stars in WWE, a Canadian wrestler of Syrian origin, is known for being pro-Palestinian and for a strong stand against Israel. So it says since October 7th, Zayn's followers have been exposed to the fact that he's liked some controversial tweets, the worst of which is an article with the title, Israel's Final Solution for the Palestinians. And it says many fans have begun to send angry letters to WWE and the TKO. And TKO's board of directors has several prominent Jewish figures. And it gives a couple of examples of Sami's likes and stuff like that. But the reason I brought it up is because I was thinking about the discipline committee. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, if you were in a position of, HR or whatever at WWE, what would you even interject or say, hey, Sami, chill out, or nothing?
I think Dana White's the guy that has this right.
Because he doesn't tell anyone what to say.
He does hey, I'm not in no position to tell anybody what to say.
Right. Because
basically, these guys are grown men. They live with the consequence. If you post something, a lot of people don't like it. It's like, that's like, bro, look at Sean Strickland's posts.
Yeah.
You know, he's demeaning women and stuff. It's like, and then Dana White's like, that guy's, and Dana White's like, just as that guy's nuts. You know, it's like, well, whatever.